Hey everyone, my name is Alyssa Goodo, and I am going to be doing my presentation on emotions are your friend. This is geared toward 5 to 12-year-olds, so this is going to be very child friendly. I'm going to be doing this presentation like I would with my students whenever I was teaching English as a second language online, where I'm going to like have my hand in my ear and kind of encourage responses. So I'm going to have some pauses in this presentation. I just wanted to give that disclaimer so that way we're all on the same page. So let's get started. Hey everyone, we are going to talk about emotions being our friend because you have the power to change your future. Are you ready to talk about this? Yeah. So what are some emotions that you can think of? I think that smiley face is the clue. Happy, sad, angry. Yeah. How do you express emotions in a healthy way? Can you think of anything? Yeah, you might laugh. You might cry. You might tell somebody that you're not super happy about what happened. There are some great ways. We're going to talk about all of these different components to what emotions are like, okay? So let's have our rundown. We have our introduction that we're going to go over. We're going to talk about why this is important and why we need to know it. We'll talk about all the things that we're going to go over in detail. And our three main uh, exercises that we're going to focus on in our topics are emotional regulation, stress management, nutrition, and stress. And then from there, we're going to have our vision board summary, our wrap up, our final thoughts, and then, of course, my references. So that way, your parents and anybody who's interested can look at this for themselves. Ready? Are you ready? We have. So, emotions, stress, and food. What do all of these things have in common? Can you think of anything? I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. So, all of these things can help you determine how many friends you're going to have, how good those friends are, how much money you make, and how well you do at your future job, and how healthy you are, and a million other things, right? We're going to empower you so that way you feel like you can handle your big feelings, your big challenges, and how to enjoy yummy food with your family because who doesn't love yummy food, right? So, we have emotional regulation, stress management, and nutrition. All right, are you ready to get started? Yeah. So we have emotional regulation first. What is emotional regulation? It is a skill that helps you to calm down even whenever you feel like you're facing some big challenging situations. So I want to hear what your challenging situations are that you faced and what happened in these things. Yeah, there are a lot of things that we go through in our life, right? So maybe we can have some skills that we can set you up for success for. Studies show that self regulation can help you grow up and achieve some pretty amazing things. A Pennywise article actually talked about you are more likely to have greater academics, so you'll do better in school, for example. You'll have higher self esteem, so you're going to feel great about yourself. You're going to earn more money at your job, so we get to buy a whole bunch of fun things, right? You have better physical health and you even sleep better by developing this skill. So this is a pretty awesome skill to have. What would you be able to do if you had some of these things like better grades and more money? You might be able to become a doctor or a scientist of some kind, singer. I don't know if a singer actually needs good grades, but you might get more money from it, right? Um, what about all the things that you might be able to buy if you had more money from a good job? Yeah, there are lots of things that you can do with this skill. So people in your circle. Let's talk about how this impacts all the people that you love. If you can't stop yourself from having a big emotional outburst like screaming or crying and stomping your feet, then you're not going to have a great time getting along with your parents or even your brothers and sisters and your friends. So I want you to think about a time whenever a friend did these things to you. How did you respond to them? And what could they have done instead? Yeah, so sometimes we can be not too understanding whenever a friend does this to us, right? So it goes both ways. We can meet someone in their emotions and also help them come through the emotion. And also, we can sometimes not have a great reaction ourselves. And so it can be really helpful to learn the skills so that way not only can we make sure that we are behaving well, but also help somebody else who's probably going through a hard time. It helps everybody get along better. And something else that comes from this skill is you might find yourself playing alone a lot or even feeling anxious about trying to spend time with people that you want to be friends with whenever you can't regulate your emotions. And this can be something like whenever you want to hang out with somebody, you start thinking about how things never really work out too well. And then you think, oh, I'm just going to avoid that whole situation, right? You don't even want to talk to. Well, I mean, let's just be honest. Relationships are going to have some challenges. And when you don't know how to face those challenges, then of course you might not want to deal with them because you don't know what to do. So this can cause things to spiral into a problem where you're either alone often or you just avoid people. And it can lead to some social anxiety. So let's talk about how we can learn to develop this skill. Two of the best ways that you can develop this is by breathing. I know, it's crazy, right? Breathing exercises and playing games that teach you about your emotions. So I want you to think about this picture on the right. What are some emotions that you can find in it? I see her being silly. I see thoughtfulness. I see fear, curiosity. Hmm. There are lots of different emotions on here. What is something that makes you feel silly? What about something that makes you feel really mad? Yes. What about something that makes you feel scared? Yes. Just identifying these emotions can help you kind of navigate your way through what to do with them. Whenever you have a name for something, you can help develop a strategy for how to deal with it. And this idea comes from raising independent kids, and you can find more ideas from this. And there are also going to be some other sources that we can dig through together. So let's move on to stress management. What is stress management? Knowing what stress is can help us figure out how to start managing it. And stress is just a natural bodily response to something that makes us have big feelings like being scared. And this makes our bodies go into fight or flight mode. And what that looks like is you might have something stressful that comes up and you might think, I'm going to take this head on. Or you might think, I don't want any part of this. And you take off running and hiding. And you'll usually notice that things like this that make you go into your fight or flight mode will have your heart might beat fast, you might breathe quicker, your face might get red. There are different things that you'll feel in your body. And learning how to help your body notice the signs of stress and how to calm that stress can help you have a healthier life overall. So, Sleeping Beauty, right? We have an article from Purdue Global that talks about how stress can keep you from falling asleep or sleeping as long as you need to in order to grow healthy and to have stable moods. So, have you ever gotten a bad night's sleep? I'm pretty sure everybody has, right? How did you behave the rest of the day? Were you like Sleeping Beauty or were you like one of the seven dwarves, like maybe grumpy or sleepy? How did that affect your day? It kind of ruined it, right? Well, it might not ruin the whole day, but it can make a pretty challenging day for sure. Now, to snack or not to snack. Sometimes, whenever you're stressed, you might notice that you don't want to eat at all or that you want to eat just about everything. And this can lead to bigger problems as you get older, like gaining too much weight or even developing diabetes. Have you ever been so nervous that you couldn't eat your food? Or maybe you had a stomach ache because you were so nervous. Yeah, stress deals a lot with the digestive system. So, like your stomach. Yeah. What are some other things that you've noticed in your body when you're stressed? Yeah, you might you might get really tight or you might feel really hot all over. Yeah, there are lots of different ways that stress can come up in our body for everybody. And something else that we can look for. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So, according to Kelty Mental Health, having good behavior models can help you learn how to deal with smaller problems now so that bigger problems are easier to handle in the future. And our families can be a good role model for us in handling stressful situations. And I want you to think about a time whenever a parent, a teacher, or some other adult in your life taught you how to handle some big emotions that you had. What did they do to help you? They might have had you pause. Yeah. They might just help you talk through it, right? Sometimes we just need somebody to listen. Yeah, that can be really positively impacting to us. So let's talk about some ways that we can get some practice in for this. Some ways of managing stress include looking for physical feelings in your body, exercising and moving, and playing some games. These games can be either storytelling games or role playing style games where you can pretend to be someone or something else to express how you feel and what you can do to help those feelings. So I want you to look at the picture on the right here, and I want you to try and mimic what this picture is doing, right? So I want you to take your arm and I want you to stretch as far as you can. And it feels awesome, right? Now take the other side and do the same thing. Stretch, 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 stretch as far as you can. Yeah, and now I want you to wiggle, 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 wiggle. Getting some wiggles out can really help with that stress, that feeling of stress. It releases some of that energy in your body. So now let's talk about the third one, which is nutrition and stress. The American Psychological Association says that eating a well balanced and healthy diet can help you have better grades, feel good about your mind and your body, manage stress and regulate emotions, and help you not feel bad about yourself or experience fear and sadness. This is really great, right? Because the last couple of things that we've talked about are managing stress and regulating your emotions. So, this can help to support both of those things. I want you to think about the foods that you eat. What are some of your favorite healthy foods and how do they make you feel? Can you think of any? Yes. So this picture over here actually can help be a little bit of a clue because we see like apples and tomatoes, looks like some walnuts, broccoli. They might not be your favorites, right? But how do they make you feel? You might notice that you get more energy afterward. You might feel like you're ready to go run and play, or like you can take that test now and actually concentrate. Yeah. So it might help you beat your parents in arm wrestling. Okay, it might not actually do that. But it is true that it's more important for kids than adults to eat well because you're still growing. You need to grow up to be healthy in whatever shape that looks like for you. And part of doing that is eating well. So if you can eat well and pair this with some of that good exercise and movement, right, that can help you become more strong. and then you might actually beat your dad. So, the second one, eat better, sleep better. Whenever you have a better mood and you handle stress well, then other areas of your life can also improve. And this includes sleeping. Whenever you're well rested, you feel like you can take on everything in your day, like that big soccer game that you had coming up, or a dance recital, or that test you just wanted to take. You just feel better. What are some healthy foods that you can eat to help you feel good and grow up strong? Peanut butter might be an option as long as it's not too much added sugar, right? Or other added ingredients. That's one of those tricky ones because nuts are great for you. It's all the extra stuff that we add in that can be a little bit funny. Juice, whole fruit juice, and not other additives. Yeah. Okay. I want you to be your own superhero. So when you feel good and you have plenty of energy for the right fuel that comes from healthy food, then you feel more confident about the things that you can do. Think about something really challenging that you were able to accomplish. What did you do? Yeah. What are some other things that you want to accomplish? That's awesome. You guys are so great. You do all these fun things, right? Okay. So let's get some practice in. You can learn how to eat healthy by playing healthy food detective games and helping plan family dinners. So let's do some of this together. Look at the foods to the right. What do you see that's healthy? I see some bell peppers, an orange, a pear, an apple, some tomatoes, a beet, or some beets, I should say. Maybe a lime is what that looks like. Some cucumbers. There's lots of good, healthy things. Now, what about some unhealthy foods? What are some unhealthy foods that you see? French fries, some hamburger buns, some donuts, some fudge and candy. Now, all of these things aren't necessarily all bad. They all foods offer something good for us, but we need to make sure that we eat these things in moderation, right? So we want to have fewer of these foods and more of the healthy foods, right? Yes. So we have a ton of resources for you to explore here that can help you engage with this learning. So we have some books that you can read, like some interactive stories that will help you manage your stress better. We have another one that will teach you about emotions with monsters. And we also have breathing exercises, 30 breathing exercises on here. And there's another PDF from some vocal musicians and things like that. They can help you with your breathing as well. And of course, some games. We love games, right? So there's tons of apps here you can do with your parents too. And you can also get a board game. All of these are fun. So for example, the talking, feeling, and doing game, this is something where you have three categories of cards, and one will help you talk about something that you're going through. Feelings, you'll be able to identify some and talk about what different things make you feel a certain way. And doing, this will get you up and active and in your body to practice what you're learning. These are all super fun. And then of course there's tons of websites that you and your parents can read over to help you get more creative with your learning experience. Awesome. So, what did we learn all this for? Summary. Learning how to have a good relationship with your emotions, stress, and food is important so you can thrive in your life. Don't worry about getting this perfect. We're just practicing. Life is a big journey and you should have fun learning. That's always the point of this. We should always enjoy the learning process. The more fun that you have practicing good habits, then the more you're going to want to stick with them. So, and get your friends involved, get your family involved, your siblings, get the people you love involved with it. It'll be way more fun. And why does this even matter? Well, these skills are important because you're always picking up on other people's emotions, especially from the people that you live with. Evidence suggests that kids pick up our emotions, and those that exposed to many negative emotions are more likely to struggle. So, getting healthy coping skills now will help set you up for success in the future. So, think about this. If you constantly have a bunch of stress in your life and you don't know how to deal with it, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you can't handle it anymore. We want to make sure that you can handle things now. And then that way, whenever you get to adulthood, you're going to feel super confident about how to handle hard things. So, here are all the references. Again, I'm going to have a pass out PDF of those breathing exercises for you to look at. But I want to thank you so much for joining me and looking at all of these fun things together. I hope you have a wonderful day and time learning about all your new skills.